Welcome. I'm going to do the cell setup for the robotic arm activity C, stacking objects, and I'll go ahead and do the cell setup for activity D as well after that in this video. Okay, so we've opened cell setup, not RoboCell. Make sure you go to cell setup. This is where you'll set up your 3D image of your table, your robot, etc., all the pieces you need. So we're going to go to File, New. We're going to pick our ER4U robot, and after hitting OK, you get this. We are going to bring in a table first. The table is under General. Okay, if you're kind of looking for things, you can just double-click on these folders and expand them and take a peek in what's inside. All right, so the table, we're going to click on it, double-click, and it brings up this dialog box where you can define the size. So our size is going to be 1000 by 1000. You can go ahead and change the color if you want. How about a happy yellow? Wish we got some nice sunshine around here. You hit OK, and then you'll place it. To scroll around here, you can use your wheel. Okay, I gotta click in the space here. Let's see. The wheel is going to rotate this way, and if you right-click and hold, you can rotate this way. Okay, and then to zoom in, you can right-click and move your mouse forward or backward. And then to pan, you can grab this hand, and then you can left-click and move around. Okay, so just something else with this one, it didn't really matter, but if we wanted to change something about this table, I just would double left-click on it, and I can change the position to get back into where it's located. I can rotate it, but because it's square, that's not really going to do a whole lot, although I guess on the bottom you can see the bottom table wasn't the full dimension, so that did allow you to see that. That's cool. Okay. Alright, so we've got that. We need to bring in our robot. Okay, properties, no slide base. Put it here. And our cubes, it looks like for this activity, I'm looking at the document, it says add 3 cubes that are all 40 by 40 by 40. So that should be under materials. I see cubes. Okay, the color really doesn't matter. Here's the size. I'll hit OK. Do another one. And another one. Okay, now we want to go back and change the positions. I'm told that the initial starting position for cube 1 is 300, 0. So just as I showed you, you can double left click on the item and you can choose position and you can type it in. So we're going to go 300 for X and 0 for Y. And this next one's going to be 300 and negative 100. And the last one is going to be 300 and negative 200. I'm hitting tab to go from one field to the next quickly. Okay, and that is our setup for this activity. That's it. If you want to move the table around, you can again. I had played around with rotating it, but if you don't like where that is, you can do that. And then just make sure you go up, hit File, Save, and control where you're saving this. Just temporarily, I'll go ahead and put it on my desktop. Okay, and I'll call this Setup 3. I'm going to delete it later. I've already got these created. And hit Save. Okay, now File, New. We're going to start a new project with the same robot. Let's go ahead and bring our robot in. For activity D, I believe we're not going to have a slide base again. There are going to be some later activities where we bring in a slide base. That means the robot has, it's mounted to a slide where it can not just move itself, but it can slide along a rail to a different position. So I believe in activity D, we are still without a slide base. Okay, so there is our robot kind of floating in space. We're going to need a table. I'm not sure if we need the same size table. I'm opening activity D doc real quick. Off to the side, I've got my Schoology window open where I am pulling up our PDFs and our Word docs and taking a look. Okay, so activity D is absolute positions. You're going to pick up a cylinder and dip it in 3 bins. Okay, so in this cell setup, we again want a table that is 1,000 by 1,000. I'm going to go with my happy sunshine color again, and we'll make it 1,000 by 1,000. Okay, and then to just drag this, I can use this button right here. It's drag object. So the hand, I can click and hold and move that. Just kind of orientate it in a way that makes sense. All right, and then we've got our table, our robot. We need to bring in a cylinder that has a 40 millimeters and a height of 40. So diameter 40, height of 40. So materials, let's find a cylinder. We want it 40 by 40, that's correct. The color really doesn't matter. Okay, we want it in a vertical orientation, yes. So I'm going to hit OK. And we'll post it down here. Let me zoom in for us. And pan. And now I'll double click on it, and I'll set the position of this is supposed to be at 250 and negative 260. So positive 250x and negative 260y. Next, we should insert bins. I have to find where the bin is. There you go. Under storage devices, we have bins. Okay, we want 3 bins. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And we have precise locations for these as well. So the first one is going to be at a position of 250, negative 80. The next one's going to be at 250, 100. And the last one is going to be at 250, 280. And that is our cell setup, I believe. Yes, so go ahead and save this one, File, Save. Again, I'll just save it to my desktop quick, and I'll call this Setup 4. You now have the cell setups for both activities 3 and 4, and you'll be able to go into RoboCell. And if we show that real quick, how do I bring these in? So from inside RoboCell, you're going to hit File, New Project to start an activity. And then you're going to go File, Import a 3D model. And then let me just go all the way back to my desktop for these ones I just created. So I'll go to the most recent one. This is just showing how to get started. And you will import that model. Okay, and I can use Window and Simulation and Teach just to tile my windows nicely so that I can see the graphics, see the program, see my manual movement controls, my teach and record, etc. Okay, so there you go.